In December of 1938, a young woman in Pennsylvania answered a simple newspaper ad. It promised a stable office job, good pay, and the chance to start a new life. Her name was Margaret Martin. Just 19 years old, bright, ambitious, and full of hope. She told her mother she was meeting a man who needed a secretary. It sounded harmless. But Margaret never came home. Her disappearance would become one of America's earliest unsolved recruitment murders. A case buried under decades of silence, and one that still whispers through the fog of Pennsylvania's backroads. It all began on December 17, 1938. Margaret Martin lived in Kingston, Pennsylvania, a quiet town near Wilkes Barre. She had recently completed a secretarial course and was eager to find work. A local advertisement caught her attention. It was from a man offering an office position for a small trucking company. Margaret called the number, spoke with the man, and arranged to meet him that same afternoon near Kingston Corners. She was last seen stepping into a dark sedan, described as possibly a Ford, with an unidentified man behind the wheel. Witnesses said he was around 30, medium build, wearing a brown coat and cap. Margaret was never seen alive again. The investigation began immediately. Hundreds of leads poured in. Police questioned traveling salesmen, local mechanics, and known criminals in the area. But the man in the brown coat had vanished. The fake trucking company ad was traced back to a telephone number at a payphone booth, and the name given by the caller was fake. The signature on the job listing was never matched to anyone. Despite the efforts of both local police and the FBI, the case grew cold within months. The most chilling detail? The killer had planned everything, from the fake ad to the location of the meeting, suggesting this wasn't his first time. Over the years, a few theories emerged. Some believed the killer was a traveling salesman or truck driver passing through Pennsylvania, using job ads to lure victims. Others pointed to local suspects, men who worked near the sawmill or who had placed similar ads in nearby towns. In 1939, a man in New York was briefly detained for a nearly identical method of luring women to job interviews, but there wasn't enough evidence to connect him to Margaret's case. FBI agents also explored the possibility of a serial offender, but no confirmed link was found to other crimes at the time. To this day, the killer's name remains unknown, and Margaret's murder remains unsolved. The story of Margaret Martin faded quickly from newspapers. The world was moving toward war in 1939, and local tragedies were easily buried under global headlines. Her case was one of the first in U.S. history to involve an abduction through a fake employment ad, a method that would reappear decades later in crimes like the job scam murders of the 1970s. For many historians, Margaret's death was a dark foreshadowing of a new kind of predator, one who used trust, not force, as his weapon. 80 years later, the name Margaret Martin barely appears in history books, but her story is a warning that still echoes today. Evil often hides behind kindness, and the most dangerous traps are the ones that look like opportunities. If you found this case interesting, subscribe for more forgotten crimes, dark mysteries, and stories that history tried to erase. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.